today's workout is going to be an AMRAP in 15 minutes. We're going to do as many rounds as possible of some dumbbell power snatches, some overhead squats with the dumbbells on our right and left arm, and one rope climb. The goal here is to be moving pretty quickly through each one of these things, so make sure that you scale your weights or your movements wisely. Now, as we move through this, we're going to be doing 10 alternating dumbbell snatches. That means we're going to go ahead and touch the ground, bring it up overhead. The weight's going to be 50 pounds for the men and 35 for the women. We're going to be using one dumbbell throughout the whole duration of the workout. As soon as you finish 10 alternating, that's 5 on each side of those snatches, we're going to go into a right arm overhead squat. We're going to start with 5 overhead, getting into that full depth position, getting into a good overhead. Once you finish 5, we'll go ahead and switch to 5 on your left, and then we have one rope climb to finish it out. Now, today, when we're scaling the dumbbell for the overhead squats, that's going to be a limiting factor for some. You may be able to go ahead and decrease the load of the dumbbell and be able to still complete that overhead. So you could have 2 different dumbbells, one for the snatch and one for the overhead squat. Now, for others of us, we're just not there and the mobility is lacking, and maybe our hips or our shoulders that prevents us from actually holding that bell overhead and performing a squat so that our hip crease is below the knee. If that's the case, we can go ahead and scale 2 different other ways. We can go ahead and put this up overhead and take a lunging step, lightly tapping the knee and going back. We'll alternate the legs for 5 steps and then switch to the other side where we'll also be alternating the legs. We'll hold the dumbbell up overhead for 5 lunges and then we'll switch. And then finally, if this is just not something that you can do, you can go ahead and put that dumbbell in the front rack position and complete 5 squats in the right side and 5 squats in the left side. When we're speaking of the rope climb, we're going to go ahead and be working on the hanging aspect of this. So if you're not able to climb the rope all the way up 15 feet or go as high as possible, maybe going halfway up the rope, we can go ahead and do some hanging hand exchanges. The video for that is in the athlete notes at SugarWOD. Or we're going to be accumulating 20 seconds of a hold each time. So that 20-second hold is getting on the bar and holding for 20 seconds. Okay? So again, we have a few different options today. I choose for the focus of the modification in the rope climb to be that we're focusing on hanging in the hands and making sure that we're able to kind of focus on that today, okay? Some days it's all about pulling, some days it's about clamping those feet, but today we're gonna hang. So as soon as you finish your one rope climb, you're gonna go ahead and head back to the dumbbell and complete your next set of snatches. We're looking to complete somewhere around 5-ish rounds. So depending on your proficiency in these movements, you'll be doing plus or minus 5 rounds.